We are wrapping up our short series on dealing with home office issues. This is Savvy Layman. I remember the day when we were told to stay working from home. Offices were deserted, schools eventually got closed too. Unlike some of my colleagues, I was blessed by having a dedicated room where I could do my job. It wasn't all rosy though. I think I could always hear at least one of my four kids yelling, talking. Fortunately, I own quality Bowers & Wilkins PX headphones with active noise cancelling. They cannot isolate all noise perfectly, but it's still a massive help both at home as well as in the open space office. Besides Bowers & Wilkins, I can highly recommend Sony WH-1000 MX4 or MX5 or Bose Quiet Comfort 45. Don't fall for cheap ANC headphones though.
It's a trap!
In the previous episode, I recommended a generic Jabra headset thanks to its dynamic microphone. If you plan to purchase one, make sure you choose a wireless model. Years ago, this was not an option. I can recall one or two so-called war rooms where I had to literally stay on the phone for many hours. Without going into too much detail, wired headset prevented me from meeting my basic physiological needs. Ouch! On the other hand, the wireless headset allows me, for example, to open the front door for a postman or lets me walk around the house and stretch my muscles. That is, with the webcam turned off, of course. Speaking of walking, that is actually my next tip. Staying indoors the whole day kills, especially when the weather is nice. Even if your lunch comprises of microwave leftovers from the previous day, take your time and go for a walk. Fresh air and cardio will help you battle your afternoon fatigue. Some high-buy kind of meetings can surely be attended outdoors, provided your smartphone can run MS Teams. Remote town halls are a great example. From my experience, the biggest pitfall when it comes to working from home is knowing when to disconnect. See, there is always one more thing that needs to be done. And I know from my personal experience, it's sometimes hard to set a fixed deadline by when the computer needs to be shut down. I personally make every effort not to exceed 40 hours per week. It's important for me to draw a clear line between work and home because they can easily blend together, and if that's the case, I tend to spread my work-related headaches over my family, which I find unacceptable. Now I need to confess, my BMI got so much higher since I've begun working from home more often. I'm not here to judge, but if you're like me, a significant reduction of snack stockpile is probably a good idea. I noticed that I struggle with snack attacks less when physically present in the office. On those days, I usually have somewhat light breakfast, then early lunch, and that's it until I drive back home. There is no vending machine in our office anymore, and the grocery store is somewhat far, so I can't have a sweet tooth even if I wanted to. Here we are, back to square one. Shall we avoid working from the office altogether? Even though I highly prefer working from home, there are some advantages of visiting the office every now and then. Lower blood sugar is just one aspect. Another one is socializing. We have all these fancy gadgets which help us meet remotely across enormous distance, but they're just enablers. Humans are social beings, and believe it or not, even introverts can benefit from occasional physical meetings of other people. Truth be told, my productivity usually tumbles when visiting the office. Unless little children run around your house, there is so much more ambient noise in the office environment. I also get interrupted all the time. It's usually work-related stuff, but I get invited for coffee breaks more often than I'm comfortable with. But I deliberately step outside my comfort zone and sacrifice my short-term productivity to build relationships. The thing is, there is so much disillusion in corporations these days. Yeah, cost savings or layoffs will not go away, but I can still be there for my colleagues to let them release steam and perhaps help them find something meaningful to think about. Moreover, I almost always learn something useful over a cup of coffee with a colleague. Commuting is another advantage of visiting the office. Here you're thinking, you gotta be kidding me! Yes, I'm aware of all the carbon footprint, financial impact, as well as lost time while in transit. But commuting also forces me to turn off my computer and take a 45-minute break from my duties. That allows me to clear my mind so that I don't bring work-related issues home with me. I admit this lone benefit cannot outweigh the numerous drawbacks, but I at least try to stay positive. What about you? What is your preferred setup? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching and have a nice one.